And we'll show you the best seat in the stadium. Always a great place to go for hockey action. The Leafs and the Hawks are almost ready to begin. And all the action is coming up on TSN tonight.
The Toronto Maple Leafs weren't planning an unbeaten season, but so far no one's been able to stop them. Not Dallas on opening night, nor Eric Lindros and the Philadelphia Flyers, 5-4 losers at the Spectrum, as the red-hot Leafs went to 3-0. Not Detroit, consensus top pick in the Central Division. Doug Gilmour had 6 points in back-to-back games against the Red Wings. The Maple Leafs burned to a 6-0 record. Florida offered the obvious distraction last week, but sun, surf, lightning, and thunderdomes couldn't stop the Maple Leafs. First, they scored an overtime victory against the new Florida Panthers, and then with Felix Potvin posting the shutout in their last game, the Maple Leafs beat the Lightning 2-0. So Toronto is unbeaten, untied, unbelievable. Now the Leafs stop in Chicago, where they're haunted by an 0-13 record the last 3 seasons. Can the Blackhawks stop the Leafs from running their record start to 10? Find out next on TSN.
His serious look on for good reason. Injuries have removed Rob Pearson and Peter Zezel from a lineup that already lacks depth. Veteran Glenn Anderson gets the nod to provide offense on the second line. So it's test time for Toronto. Will the shuffle be successful and keep the streak alive? Unbelievable!
For 4 seasons, Jeremy Roenick has been wearing himself out as a dependable goal scorer for the Chicago Blackhawks. Already he has 9 in 10 games this season, but Jeremy needs a little help. Tuesday he got it. Joe Murphy scored twice in a win over St. Louis, and Kevin Todd chipped in a pair as Chicago scored 9. Now the fear is that they've used them all up.
Live from Chicago, the Leafs try and win at the stadium before they tear it down. And we'll follow the action elsewhere. The Whalers, winless in 5, meet the Blues in St. Louis. Then there's the first-time California Classic, the Mighty Ducks against the Sharks. And, of course, Mario's return to the Penguins. It's all on the NHL tonight.
NHL tonight on TSN. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. What beer's all about. And by Pepsi. Pepsi reminds you to be young, have fun, drink Pepsi.
Maple Leafs are gunning for their first win of the 90s against the Hawks in the old Chicago Stadium. Hi, everyone. I'm John Wells with Bob McKenzie at Hockey Control. Lots of positive signs that Toronto's long drought may be over. We'll find out tonight. Here's Jim Houston with Gary Green in Chicago.
John, as the Toronto Maple Leafs made their incredible run to the Stanley Cup semifinals this spring, and now as they've started the season with a remarkable 9-0 record, people look at their lineup and continually ask the question, how the heck are they doing it?
That's a good question, and it is rather amazing, but there are some reasons for it, Jim. First of all, they're extremely well coached, and I don't mean just by Burns, because Murphy and Kitchen and Walmsley do an excellent job as well. But they start from the goal of Felix Potvin has been great this season. He was great last year. This team is the best defensive hockey club in the league right now. 2 goals against per game. That is amazing. But they have also improved offensively. They're better than a goal against or a goal for better than they were last season. That's helped them a great deal. They're a hard-working team. They can grind it out. They've also got confidence, and boy, does that help you.
Much of your description not only fits the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the team they play tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks. Same style, John.
There was a time when the Leafs couldn't even score in the stadium. Last year, they did manage a couple of one-goal games, so there's a positive aspect to that, along with the 9-game win streak.
Well, no question about that, and they're happy they've got Doug Gilmour in the lineup tonight. That's taken care of, obviously. They're obviously, though, going to miss Robbie Pearson, who's off to a great start. 6 goals, 4 assists in his first 9 games, out a month with a partial tear of his right medial collateral knee ligament, so that's going to be a problem. Peter Zezel, a good man on face-offs, very good defensively, so they are playing shorthanded tonight, no question about that.
And our first trip to the old Chicago Stadium without Steve Larmer in the building, and I suppose we should ask exactly where Steve is going and when he is going.
Running soap operas. It's a good question. Everybody wants to know when. No idea. Bob Pulford moves in very mysterious and slow ways. As for who or where, I think right now the deal that the Chicago Blackhawks are really holding out for and want to make is with the Hartford Whalers, because the centerpiece of that deal is for a 20-year-old with great potential, Patrick Poulin, and some surprising talk lately that maybe one of the players that would be going with Steve Larmer, perhaps to Hartford, is defenseman Brian Marchman, not František Kučera, as we reported the other night.
And the next question, of course, is when? Is it going to happen next week?
Who knows with Bob Pulford?
All right. From Hockey Control, this is the NHL Tonight. The Leafs and the Hawks coming right up from the stadium in Chicago.
Starting in goal for the Maple Leafs, as usual, is 8-0 Felix Potvin. He's a 22-year-old from Montreal who in less than 100 games in the NHL has already risen to be one of the best. He's backed up by Damian Rhodes. Tuesday night, Conn Smythe Trophy winner Patrick Waugh stopped New Jersey's winning streak at 7. Tonight, the Vezina Trophy winner Ed Belfour from Carman, Manitoba, tries to stop the Maple Leaf streak at 9. The referee is Terry Gregson. Shane Heyer and Dan Schechte are the linesmen. Ben Hecht is the video goal judge. And this game is underway. The Maple Leafs start Mike Krushelnyski, Mark Osborne, and Bill Berg at defensive line against Jeremy Roenick, Rich Sutter, and Joe Murphy, the forward unit for Daryl Sutter's Chicago Blackhawks. And the Hawks start out of their own zone. Murphy trying to move the puck ahead to Roenick. It hit escape. Steve Smith, who's paired on defense with newcomer Neil Wilkinson, dumps the puck in for Chicago. Jamie McCown is back and takes a light wrap off the boards. Wilkinson to the front of the net. It bounced off a couple of skates, but the puck went wide. Sylvain Lefebvre went to the puck when both Murphy and Roenick turned away from it. Here's Mike Krushelnyski, shoots, and he just missed the net. Jamie McCown moves up and keeps the puck in for Toronto. Steve Smith trying to clear, and he does, and both teams will make their first changes just less than a minute in. Sylvain Lefebvre put the puck ahead to Doug Gilmour, who is in the lineup. He had his hearing with Brian Burke today, but there has been no word from the league on a possible suspension. Gilmour playing with Nick Borshevsky and Dave Andrechuk on the big forward unit. Dirk Graham back the other way with a hard shot. The rebound, and that's stopped by Potvin too. Loose puck in front of the net. Gilmour cleared it behind the goal to Todd Gill. After the puck, Brent Sutter tries to center for Jocelyn Lemieux. Lemieux just ran over his man in the corner. And Borshevsky picks himself up off the ice. He didn't play much in this building for Pat Burns last season. Gill's tripped up at center by Dirk Graham. And the first penalty of the game goes to Chicago's Dirk Graham for tripping Todd Gill.
Pat Burns knows a big part of winning a hockey game in this building is surviving the first few minutes, the early going of the first period. This is going to help, though. Graham ends up pulling down Gill, and the Leafs will go on the power play, something they've been pretty successful at this season thus far. 4th best in the league.
Although on the road, Pat Burns' team is just 2 for 21 in the power play so far.
Pat Burns has got, well, still both feet on the ground, even though this has been an extremely successful record thus far. He's also stated that they will win in this building sometime this year. He wasn't guaranteeing one for tonight.
Here's Andrechuk to Gilmour. Borshevsky's in front of the net. The wraparound is stopped in front of the net by Brent Sutter, one of the penalty killers for the Blackhawks. The power play features Dave Andrechuk as usual up front. Dave already has 6 of his 9 goals on the power play and led the league last year with 32 goals, with his team holding a man advantage. Gilmour, Borshevsky, and Andrechuk with Todd Gill and Dave Ellett, the point men in the power play. Gill. On the other side to Dave Ellett. In behind the net, Andrechuk let the puck go to Gilmore. Borshevsky to the point. Gill quickly over to Ellett. He's charged and can't get the shot away. Dave Christian was out to check him. And the puck is cleared so the penalty killers can change. Brent Sutter and Dave Christian get off. In quickly comes Todd Gill with the puck. Gill trying to set up, now moves the puck in. Andrechuk let it go for Gilmore. Trying to move out in front of the net, he can't. Less than a minute to go in the penalty to Graham as the Blackhawks ice the puck. Second power play unit comes over the boards, featuring John Cullen, Wendell Clark, and Glenn Anderson, a set unit. Wendell Clark with a hard wrist shot, stopped by Ed Belfour. Jeremy Roenick tripped up. Fortunately, teammate Neil Wilkinson had the puck. Half a minute to go in this power play for Toronto. Early in the game, no score from Chicago Stadium. Bob Rouse gets the puck to the front of the net in the air. Clark couldn't knock it down. Dmitry Mironov to the end boards. Clark for Anderson. Takes a sharp angled shot. It got to Cullen, but he was too deep to take a shot. Clark around to the boards, and Mironov can't keep the play onside in the last 10 seconds of Graham's minor penalty. Mironov fires the puck in for Toronto. Graham's out of the penalty box. Toronto's 0 for 1 with a man advantage, and here come the Hawks out of their own zone. Kevin Todd to Brian Noonan. He shoots. Potvin the save. The rebound goes to the corner. Cleared away by the Leafs. Graham behind the net. Working the puck to Noonan, who threw a hit and missed as he tried to level Dmitry Mironov. Here's Kevin Todd, the former New Jersey Devil and Oiler, from behind the net in front. Noonan was decked and couldn't get a shot away. Good pace early. That bodes well for the rest of the night when they start like this in Chicago Stadium.
How many times have you seen a bad start in this building over the years, though? I think it starts with the fans and Wayne Mesner.
Sylvain Lefebvre is the best plus-minus in the league at +13 after 9 games. Gets to center and dumps the puck in from Mike Foligno, making a rare appearance in the Leaf lineup. There's a shot stopped by Ed Belfour. Ken Baumgartner got it away. So the fourth line got a chance for Toronto. No score early in this Molson Canadian hockey telecast from Chicago. The NHL tonight from Chicago Stadium. The Blackhawks and the Maple Leafs scoreless early. You've heard about the streak. 13 straight losses for the Leafs here. They've been outscored 51-17 in those 13 games. Ed Belfour has 4 shutouts during the streak. Dominik Hasek has the other, so 5 shutouts for the Hawks during that streak. Here's Cam Russell, the puck carrier for Chicago, ahead to Jocelyn Lemieux, and he just let the puck go in deep. And Jamie McCown is the first man back. There's an icing call against the Blackhawks.
Well, these two teams are a lot alike, and their coaches are somewhat alike as well. Daryl Sutter is a very methodical coach. He also is a very disciplined coach. He drives his team pretty hard. Right now, he's trying to add some youth to this hockey club. So is general manager Bob Pulford. But they also didn't have a great deal of offense with this hockey club last season. They were the 19th best team offensively, and that's pretty amazing when you consider that they had 106 points. But then again, look at their defense, best in the league. And
look at their goaltender, Vezina Trophy winner.
Sure tells you where you've got to build a team from, doesn't it? Start from the pipes and work your way out.
Krushelnyski facing off against Jocelyn Lemieux. Berg off the face-off, won by Krushelnyski, took a shot that hit a leg and went wide. At center, Jamie McCown drives the puck in off the glass. Ed Belfour's out to stop it there for Brian Marchment. Marchment just avoided arbitration by signing a new contract just prior to last weekend. Belfour out of his net to play the puck ahead for Lemieux. He was checked by Berg as Sylvain Lefebvre brings the puck in around to the boards. It goes to Troy Murray. He's playing with Darren Kimball, number 20. And Jocelyn Lemieux, number 26, in a makeshift line put together here in the first period. Jocelyn Lemieux off the wing with a shot. Easy pickings for Felix Potvin. And he'll hold on with some traffic coming towards the net. We have a stop in play here, and we have an update from Pittsburgh.
Jim will pick it up at 2-1 Quebec second period, and Mario Lemieux is back. Nifty pass out for Grant Jennings. 2 points for Mario Lemieux to get the Penguins back to even a 2-2. Then seconds later, Larry Murphy, the shot redirected by Ron Francis. Francis becomes the 38th player in NHL history to count 1,000 career points, and Pittsburgh has the lead 3-2.
Jeremy Roenick just won the draw to Frank Kuchera, number 6. His sharp angled shot steered aside by Potvin and up to the point and by Chris Chelios. Chelios and Kuchera paired on the point. And Kuchera dumped the puck in and went over the glass.
And who will Jeremy Roenick play with tonight? Well, he'll probably play with a lot of people tonight. As Daryl Sutter says, whoever's playing well. As soon as Jeremy Roenick is rested, he'll just get right back out on the ice. Played with Daryl Sutter's brother in the game against St. Louis, as well as Joe Murphy.
And that's who he's paired with or teamed with on this forward line right now. One of the differences in JR, now that he's in his 5th NHL season, is that he now kills penalties. He plays in just about every situation. That wasn't always the case. There's a giveaway or a steal, and Todd Gill from in front of the net took a backhander deflected wide. Collins centering pass. That didn't get out front of the net, or Nick Borshevsky trying to get it out to Dave Andreychuk. Todd Gill backs up at center, then flips the puck inside the Chicago blue line. Here's František Frank Kuchera into the middle. Rich Sutter shoots. Puck and the save. Loose puck in front of the net. Flipped away by Dave Andreychuk all the way out to center.
Smart play by Andreychuk. He knew his team was in trouble. Just dumped it up and out. What a great flip shot.
Doug Gilmour with Nick Borshevsky and Dave Andreychuk with the puck carriers. Matteau, nice move. Hooked, and so he couldn't get the shot away. What a nice play by Andreychuk to get back and hook the stick of Stefan Matteau so he couldn't shoot. Here come the Maple Leafs to center. John Cullen's pass hit a skate. Picked up by Borshevsky at the end of his shift, and the play is offside. Although you'd have a tough time hearing the whistle, everybody stopped. So he knew something had happened. The scratches for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Chicago Blackhawks reasonably healthy, except Michel Goulet has a bad back, so he's scratched from the lineup. They've made a deal, sent Craig Muni to Buffalo for Keith Carney. He's in the lineup, and Steve Larmer is watching games, hoping to be playing in some soon, somewhere. There's a turnover in the Hawk zone again, but the Blackhawks picked up the puck, and Kevin Todd moved it out to his line mate Stefan Matteau. Brian Noonan's on this forward unit as well. Dmitry Mironov beat Todd to the puck and put it up the boards. John Cullen's after it. Todd's in to check it. Puck is in the air, waved at by Anderson. He didn't touch it. Here's Bob Rouse in over the blue line, takes the shot, deflected by Neil Wilkinson wide of the net. Kevin Todd rubbed down on the boards. Wendell Park got the puck to Cullen, no one in front. Now Mironov shoots, great save by Belfour. And he's got the puck again. What a save by Belfour on Dmitry Mironov.
And what a good play by Mironov. He really had his head up. He moved right into the slot, got that pass, and let go with a good wrist shot. Belfour made a quick save. Smart play by Mironov. He sensed the play. Anderson, you can see, backing Mironov up, so the Leafs have taken care of themselves defensively. This is a team that is smart at reading the play. You won't see their defense jump in a lot under Pat Burns' style of play, but when they do, you can bet that there'll be a forward covering up for them, or else Pat Burns will sure give it to them. I mean, verbally.
And they better have a good opportunity to score if they're going to gamble and head for the slot. Cam Russell dumps the puck in for Chicago. No score in the game, 8 minutes in. Sylvain Lefebvre to Ken Baumgartner, who tipped the puck out to center. Cam Russell is there for Chicago. Bomber had him all lined up, but Russell dumped the puck in. Foligno, Baumgartner, Kent Manderville on the fourth line for the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's a hit by Baumgartner against Brent Sutter. Sutter with Lemieux and Graham on the forward unit for the Blackhawks. Sylvain Lefebvre dumps the puck in. Russell and Marchment are the defenseman back after it. Belfour cleared the puck up the boards. Sutter can't move it out. Baumgartner kept it in. There's a penalty coming up. An elbowing call, and Mike Foligno is going to the penalty box. while the Blackhawks get set for the power play. We'll have an update with John.
After the Garden in Boston, Ottawa with a 2-0 lead, and the Bruins go to work in a hurry. Ray Bourque set up beautifully just inside the line, and in he walks. Big slap shot. After that, Cam Neely added one more to get the Bruins back to even with the Senators. 2-2.
Mike Foligno came out on a line with Baumgartner and Manderville, intent on shaking things up and throwing some hits. Perhaps a little overzealous was Mike.
Only his second game of the season this year, but Foligno would normally have put the shoulder into his opponent, but instead put a pretty clear elbow. We couldn't argue that one.
The power play working here for the Blackhawks. Murphy to the slot. Chelios from the point. His shot was blocked by Mike Tucholsky. But Chelios kept the play onside. Noonan to Murphy. Ronix in front of the net. Joe Murphy. Side of the net to Noonan. Knocked away by Bob Rouse. Here's Joe Murphy now. Screen in front is set up by Noonan, who's at the top of the crease. Frank Kuchera takes the shot. Kicked aside by Potvin, but I think the shot was going wide. Good start on the power play for the Hawks, and Krushelnyski sends them back into their own zone so the penalty killers can get a rest. But back they come again. Kuchera dumps the puck in and takes a hit from Gilmore. Tip to the front of the net. Sylvain Lefebvre clears it not out. Chelios with a shot on the ice, knocked away by Lefebvre from in front of the net. Minute gone in Mike Foligno's penalty. No score in the game as we near the midway mark of the first period. A drop pass to the point was knocked by Chelios all the way down the ice.
Gilmore was smart. He just kind of put on the brakes and stayed fairly close to Chelios, reading that drop pass.
Now Stefan Matteau with Kevin Todd and Brent Sutter moving on the power play. Steve Smith from the left point. Behind the net, Jamie McCowan clears not out. Wilkinson with a shot blocked by McCowan, and he carries the puck out slowly, working the clock. With 25 seconds left in the penalty. Kevin Todd from Winnipeg. Lemieux breaks for the net. The pass, tip! And it didn't get by Felix Potvin. Here's Wilkinson. Takes the shot. Tipped in front. Potvin's got it.
Almost flattened his belly when he did get it. Potvin is up and down and all around, and so were the Blackhawks. Watch Potvin. Just focus on him. He's got plenty of traffic in front of him. He's getting down. I think his balance, he kind of lost it, and maybe it lost an edge on his right skate at the time because he just kind of slipped back a little bit further. I don't think he planned on going down quite that low, but that puck hit his chest and ended up right underneath of him.
Another look at the tip. Lemieux had two great chances on that shift. Here's the other one, flying off the wing. I just don't think he got much wood on that one.
He was in the right position, but so was Potvin.
5 seconds to go in Foligno's minor penalty. No score in the game. Dirk Graham. Foligno's back on the ice. The Blackhawks are 0 for 1 with a man advantage. Cam Russell pinched in to keep the puck in, but Mike Foligno shot at the length of the ice. And as the Blackhawks go back to touch it, there'll be an icing call against Toronto with 9:23 left in the first period. There's no score on this Molson Canadian hockey telecast. Blackhawks have won 3 in a row, and their fans are rather confident they can run it to 4-0. Some Toronto fans here with a sign that says 84-0, though. They're a pretty confident bunch, I'd say. Here's Wendell Clark after a puck in the Chicago zone. He's checked by Dirk Graham, who stays with the man. And Brent Sutter collects the puck. Marchment ran interference on Anderson so that Sutter could move the puck to Russell, and the Hawks get out to center. But an offside pass to Jocelyn Lemieux stops play.
You know, one of the hard-working Chicago Blackhawk players in the lineup tonight is Daryl Sutter's brother, Brent. Brent missed some games last year. He had a fractured ankle. He had a broken finger. He had a cracked orbital bone. I mean, this guy
just with that.
He just keeps playing, but he was still a 20-goal scorer, and the Blackhawks don't have a lot of those.
This season, the Blackhawks offense has scored only 3.2 goals per game. That includes a 9-goal game on Tuesday night, but they allow under 3.
Daryl Sutter, though, after that game, wasn't too pleased with the 2 they let in.
No, they're both shorthanded goals.
He said he's a perfectionist. And he didn't like those 2 goals at all.
Dirk Graham chasing Sylvain Lefebvre, backing up in his own zone. Wendell Clark, nice move to get around Brent Sutter. Clark tried to get a shot away, and Steve Smith got a piece of it.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why the Toronto Maple Leafs are in this position, and one of them has been a quick start by Wendell Clark this season. He's an aggressive forechecking player that fits into Pat Burns' style of play perfectly. Both of these hockey clubs really have players that revolve around the forechecking system instilled by the coaches. They like to play it tough, and they like to forecheck.
And everybody has to buy into the program or it doesn't work.
All pulling on the same rope. Or you're right, if one player doesn't fit that system, it hurts.
Off the draw, Andreychuk couldn't get a shot away, nor could Gilmour. Chris Chelios gets the puck for Chicago. Bouncing puck, Andreychuk couldn't get it again. Still kept in by the Maple Leafs. Borschevsky swatted at the puck and missed. Up the boards. Pushed outside the blue line. Here's Jeremy Roenick. To Joe Murphy. They're with Rich Sutter, but turned back by Dave Ellett. Nice pass to Dave Andreychuk with Borschevsky and Gilmour. Puts the puck in deep. Fell forward to Chelios up the boards. Murphy was checked. And there'll be a penalty here to Doug Gilmour for tripping Chris Chelios. And it'll be a power play for the Blackhawks. Off to Madison Square Garden with an update. Here's John.
Jim, Canadiens Rangers 1-1 second period in New York. Montreal 2-man advantage, and controlling it well as Brian Bellows 1 times it past Mike Richter to give the Canadiens a 2-1 advantage now in the second intermission.
At 12:06.
That's not Doug Gilmour, but rest assured he's in the penalty box there. Off for tripping. Here's the call.
Watch this play right here to the right of your screen. Now Chelios went down pretty good, but on the other hand, Doug Gilmour probably shouldn't have made himself so vulnerable. Pat Burns with the emotionless look on his face.
That'll change. The Maple Leafs, in 5 of the 9 games they've won, have held opponents to 0 power play goals. Not given up a power play goal in 5 of their 9 games. Chicago's on its second man advantage here. Steve Smith to Chelios. Takes the shot, blocked by McCowan. Smith to Brian Noonan. Back to the point. Steve Smith to Noonan, side of the net. Roenick can't beat Potvin. He read it all the way. Smith to Chelios. Noonan screens the shot. Tipped wide by Jamie McCowan, who knocked the puck wide of his own goal. Here's Chelios, fakes his shot. Passes over to Smith with some room. Side of the net. Murphy couldn't get a shot away. Murphy has the puck again. His pass for Roenick deflected up into the seats. Great control, but only 1 shot for the Blackhawks.
It's almost another shot by the Blackhawks, though, and that was Osborne on Chelios. He was going after him. The linesman separated them. If the Blackhawks are going to improve on their power play this season, Daryl Sutter feels that they have got to move the puck around a lot better than they did last year when their power play ranked 16th. Quick puck movement. They went low, but so did Potvin.
Jeremy Roenick has 7 of his 9 goals on the power play. And Daryl Sutter figures that if Jeremy had a little more finish early in the season, he'd have 15 goals now. That's how many chances he's had. Just over a minute to go in the penalty to Doug Gilmour. And the Blackhawks start out on their power play again. Chelios and Smith on the points. Noonan, Roenick, and Murphy up front. Bob Rouse just back after serving a 4-game suspension for his stick swinging incident with Bob Probert. Sent the Blackhawks back into their own zone. Chris Chelios is just back from his suspension too. He played on Tuesday night and didn't get a penalty. Guess that means he's reformed. There he is, hacking and chopping away as he runs into Bill Berg, and Berg got up and pushed him in the face, and there's a penalty coming up to Berg. And the Blackhawks finally give up the puck, realizing a penalty is being called, and is so often the case, Gary. It's the man who retaliates who gets caught.
That look is probably more of disgust than anything. Berg shakes his head. He knows he got caught. Chelios had pinched in, and Berg ends up getting the penalty. A little bit of pushing on Berg's part.
So a two-man advantage for Chicago. Let's quickly check into what's happening in Pittsburgh.
One more to show you here, James. 3-2. Penguins leading Quebec second period. Joe Sakic takes the shot, the save. Kovalenko over to Sakic for the equalizer. It is now 3-3, Quebec and Pittsburgh.
0-0 here. 24 seconds left in Gilmore's penalty. Bill Berg is off for roughing at 13:42. Chicago with a two-man advantage. Chelios from the right point. Kevin Todd. Noonan's parked in front. Roenick from the point took a shot that was blocked. And Roenick's pushed outside the blue line and down by Sylvain Lefebvre. Back in come the Hawks. Todd goes for the net. So does Noonan. The pass to Roenick. Over to Chelios. Moves to the middle. Passes off to Murphy. Over to Roenick. Intercepted and cleared. And Gilmore's out of the penalty box, and he's hustling after the puck. Blackhawks just a man short now. Belfour gets rid of the puck. Moves it ahead to center. Here's Joe Murphy in on the left wing now. Down on the boards for Kevin Todd to Brian Noonan. Breaking in front is Roenick. The pass for Murphy. He was checked, and the puck drifts to center.
The Hawks are beating themselves right now on this power play. Murphy had a real bad pass, and you just saw another one.
5:20 to play, first period, no score, a minute to go in the Toronto penalty to Berg. Here's Roenick to Graham. His wrist shot is stopped by Potvin. Roenick gets the rebound to Brent Sutter. Back on the point for Graham. Has to handle a bouncing puck and does get it by Gilmore to Sutter. Into Roenick. Roenick moves out, shoots, great save, Potvin. Brent Sutter now. In behind the net for Roenick. It bounced away from him, and the puck is collected by Ellett, who clears it. Half a minute to go in the Berg penalty. No score in the game. Dirk Graham almost lost the puck in front of his own net. 3-on-2, the Hawks to center. Rich Sutter in on the left wing. Moving in against Sylvain Lefebvre. The centering pass knocked away. Lefebvre can't clear it. Sutter's shot juggled and held onto by Felix Potvin. Now Graham, Osborne pushing and shoving at the side of the net with 10 seconds to go in Bill Berg's minor penalty.
I think we'll hear that name a lot tonight, Felix Potvin. The Leaf fans have heard a lot about Potvin. They heard a lot about him all summer long when he wanted that big new contract. Sure can't blame him. He's earned it. Potvin just down, scrambling, looking for the puck, but he made just a tremendous piece. I think he got a piece of it. Let's take a look at it. That was a great shot.
No, he
It hit the post.
Hit the post.
Oh, I thought he hit the blocker. First of all, he didn't get it. Watch it from this angle. Jeremy Roenick just wound up, and boy, did he ever fire that puck. It was a bullet, but a bullet that hit the post.
Our goalies would argue the post is an extension of themselves. Now the penalty to Bill Berg has expired. And the Maple Leafs have weathered a storm. They were 2 men short for 25 seconds. The Blackhawks are 0 for 3 with a man advantage. And the puck is up on the bench. 4:08 to play in the first period. No score in the game. The Hawks have outshot the Leafs 12-5 on the NHL tonight.
The 1990.
Jeremy Roenick does it all for the Chicago Blackhawks. Only man since, well, you remember who? That has scored back-to-back 50-goal seasons. And it's hanging right here in Chicago Stadium. Soon to be moved, along with all the other banners, to the new building across the road. Boy, is it going up fast, Jim.
The United Center will be ready for next season, so this is the final hockey season in Chicago Stadium.
Players will be treated well. They are going to have the largest dressing room of any professional team. 17,000 square feet, I hear, and the players all know about it, and they're just talking about what a great, luxurious building this is going to be.
17,000 square feet? Will it have uprights and end zones? Under 4 minutes to play in the first period. In this great old building, there's no score in the game. Big wide pass to Troy Murray. He sends one over to Jocelyn Lemieux, who's checked by Doug Gilmour. Rich Sutter in behind the net. Lemieux's there to help, but he's checked as well. Guess who got him? Gilmour. Nick Borshevsky with the puck around on the boards. Wilkinson races after it, keeps it in against Andreychuk. Into Rich Sutter. Lemieux's out front. The pass stopped by Elliott before it got through. Doug Gilmour, without his helmet, starts up ice, leading a 4-on-3 rush for Toronto. Gill through the middle, passes off. Borshevsky's backhander, a weak one that went wide. Todd Gill for Nikolai Borshevsky to the point. Elliott shoots wide of the net. Andreychuk hit the mask of Ed Belfour.
All the pressure had been on the Toronto Maple Leafs in their end zone, and then all of a sudden, well, one of the best scoring chances of the game came off with a stick of Dave Andreychuk. When Andreychuk is in front of the net, whether it's Eddie Belfour or any other Blackhawk player, they better make sure that they watch Andreychuk and watch him closely. There's Andreychuk. He watches that puck as it comes off the backboard, and even though he was being held by Steve Smith, he was not going to be taken away from the scoring opportunity.
And Smith gets a holding penalty on the play against Andreychuk.
Just before Gilmour was back checking, he was bumping and grinding. Look at that hit. Gilmour likes to do it all. In fact, I think they even watched a tape of him throwing a pretty good left today a few times.
He and Brian Burke watched it together.
No popcorn at that viewing.
Steve Smith is off for holding on Andreychuk. And the Maple Leafs are on the power play for the second time. A breakaway pass to Wendell Clark was offside. We have an update from Boston. What's up, John?
Well, it was 2-2 when last we left you, but Cam Neely got the equalizer, and then he gets this goal for the lead. Two more quickies followed Neely's second of the night. In a time of 1:12 seconds, it is Boston leading Ottawa 5-2.
Dave Andreychuk, as mentioned before, is one of the best power play men in the NHL. He's not on the ice right now because he was at the end of a long shift when Smith took a penalty. 6 of his goals have come with a man advantage. Dave and the rest of his teammates on the bench had to get out of the way as the puck came like a rocket over the boards and someone got hit.
That was a hard shot, too, that just went right into the bench. And is it Lefebvre that got it?
Sylvain Lefebvre.
You think you're safe when you're on the bench.
Minute and a half to go in the penalty to Steve Smith. 2.5 minutes to play in the first period. There's no score. The Hawks and the Leafs. Dmitry Mironov with Bob Rouse. John Cullen rushes through center. Knocked down Brent Sutter on his way into the Hawks zone. And he couldn't take the puck with him, and it's cleared by Frank Kuchera. A minute to go in the penalty. Todd Gill on the left side. Park, Borshevsky, and Cullen. The forwards going after the puck. Wendell Clark. Back to the point. Gill. Pass out to Elliott. He shoots it. And that's knocked wide of the net. Cullen found Dave Elliott. And his shot was deflected wide. Wendell Clark trying to get loose in the neutral zone as Borshevsky centers it. Clark dove and he smashes into the net. And he went diving towards the goal, playing fearlessly as he tried to tip the pass in.
Got a little piece of Belfour, but Belfour was pretty quick just to jump out of the way. Wendell Clark diving for it, trying to get a piece of it. Watch Clark, he's got his eyes on the puck. He's trying to get ahead of Chelios. And he made a pretty good effort at taking a swat at that puck.
The Maple Leaf captain leading by example. His team has 30 seconds with which to work on this power play with Steve Smith sitting up. Gilmore's back on the ice with Borschevsky and Andreychuk. Gilmore in behind the net. Ellen is there pumping against Brian Marchment. Borschevsky trying to knock the puck loose. It does come loose at the side of the net, and out come the Hawks 3-on-2 shorthanded. Rich Sutter with Wilkinson and Joe Murphy. Wilkinson bails out to play defense and lets Sutter take the puck deep. Nikolai Borschevsky out of his own zone to Dave Andreychuk. Stick handling in on Marchment. The penalty is over. Steve Smith is back in the play. The Maple Leafs are 0 for 2 with a man advantage. Still no score in the game. And now just a minute to go in the first period. Brian Noonan gains the blue line. His pass intercepted. Now cleared by Borschevsky. Chelios to Marchment. Off the boards for Noonan. The puck bounced right by him to Todd Gill. Up the boards, Andreychuk tips the puck, not out though. Kevin Todd kept it in. Todd goes after the puck in front, knocked away from Noonan by Jamie McCowan. Marchment in for Todd, who's checked. Brian Noonan trying to get around McCowan to the front of the net. Knocked to the point and out by Chris Chelios. In the dying seconds of the first period, the Maple Leafs have been outshot 12-6, but are in a scoreless tie as they try and run their winning streak to 10 games at the start of the season. Bill Bird tied up. Chelios is all over him. Osborne's in after the puck against Kevin Todd. And as Chris Chelios gets the puck back to Frank Kuchera, the first period at Chicago Stadium comes to an end.
Leafs will take that, getting outshot 12-6. Spending a lot of time in their own end zone, but Felix Potvin had a magnificent first period. What else is new for the Leafs?
Scoreless after one with 12-6 the shots for the Blackhawks over the Leafs. Mario is back, and so is Bob in our first intermission to look at the return of Mario Lemieux and all the other games on in the NHL tonight. Our show continues from Hockey Control with John and Bob in a moment.
Here now, tonight's first period scoring summary brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Well, there was no scoring in the opening period. A solid first period in Chicago, but the Hawks did outshoot the Leafs 12-6. We're ready for more good stuff at the stadium in Chicago. Jim Houston and Gary Green.
Doug Gilmour had his usual steady first period, and the Maple Leafs are glad to have him in the lineup. He had a hearing with Brian Burke this afternoon regarding his misconduct penalty. 2 and 5 that went with it Saturday night in Tampa for wailing on Roman Hamrlik.
Well, it sure breaks up your normal routine on game day. Gilmour wasn't certain that he was going to be able to play tonight.
The Maple Leafs feeling, I think, was that if Brian Burke was coming all the way to Chicago today for a hearing, then he meant business. But he left and went on to St. Louis without any word on a possible suspension, and Gilmour fears that because he's a repeat offender, he may get a couple of games. He's not sure though, and he worries that now that he's known as a repeat offender, they'll be sending videotapes in from all over the league and everything he does. And he said to Brian Burke today, I can't play a passive game. I have to be aggressive.
And Pat Burns wouldn't want it any other way, but on the other hand, he has to have him in the lineup. This guy is just too important.
He starts the second period with Borschevsky and Andreychuk.
Pretty important to the fans that he's in the lineup too.
Period number 2 at Chicago Stadium is underway. No score. Brent Sutter in forechecking along with Jocelyn Lemieux. Lemieux threw a check at Sylvain Lefebvre. Brent Sutter centering pass out of the reach of Dirk Graham. Jamie McCowan cleared the puck to the boards. Bouncing puck. Gilmour got it just outside the blue line, and Chicago captain Dirk Graham takes over. Felix Potvin round on the boards, cut off by Graham to Brent Sutter to Dirk Graham. Backhander blocked in front of the net. Jamie McCowan blocked the shot by Dirk Graham.
The Leaf defense, when you take a look at them, I mean, we've talked about the great goaltending. That's a given with Felix Potvin. But this Leaf defense play as though, well, if you looked at them, you'd think that there's got to be all-stars out there, but you know through their roster, they just play like all-stars. They played together. Jamie McCowan has been a big influence on this Leaf defense.
You know, Gary, there are 12 shots on goal for Chicago tonight. I bet there are another half dozen blocked.
The Leaf defense come back and help Potvin out a lot.
Cam Russell off the draw. Potvin made the save and steered the puck over the glass. Cam Russell played for Pat Burns in Hull of the Quebec League, now plays for Daryl Sutter, and he played with him in the minors as well, and Daryl admits to having a soft spot for Cam. Well, you don't think of Daryl being soft on any matter.
No, even his brother, his younger brother, Rich Sutter, feels that Daryl's a pretty intense coach.
Here's Russell again off the draw, and again there's Potvin to make the save. Richie Sutter. Roenick in front of the net. So is Joe Murphy. Sutter working tirelessly, and he's stopped by Potvin. Another fine save by Felix Potvin as Sutter came out of the corner. Ryan Marchment turns in his own zone. Plays the puck ahead to Joe Murphy. 2-on-2. Takes the shot. Potvin the save, the rebound. And Todd Gill kept Murphy from getting another shot. Sutter works against Mike Krushelnyski. Bill Berg hit by the shoulder of Cam Russell, so he goes the other side, and the puck gets out and down the ice. Ed Belfour will play the puck for Brian Marchment.
Berg's still good in those defensive roles, even though he's playing on the right side a lot this season. When you're caught in your own end zone, that's tough. Always having to turn onto your backhand.
When he can, Pat Burns has had the Krushelnyski line with Berg and Osborne out against Jeremy Roenick. Frank Kuchera pushed hard to the boards. Brian Noonan got the puck. It was Berg who threw the check on Kuchera. Now Bob Rouse off the glass, down the ice. A couple of minutes into the second period, no score. Stefan Matteau. In deep centering pass picked off by John Cullen to his line mate Wendell Clark. Backhanded the puck trying to get it out and couldn't. Kevin Todd is there. With Chelios and Matteau working on the boards. Mironov pins Todd. Terry Gregson won't stop the play. Matteau tried to center, couldn't do it. Kuchera from the point with room takes the shot. Stopped by Potvin. The rebound at the side of the net. And Kuchera couldn't hold the puck in against Anderson this time, and it drifts all the way down the ice. Belfour plays for Chelios. Out to center. Here's Jamie McCowan taking over for Toronto. Wendell Clark stopped by Chelios at the blue line. Troy Murray to Frank Kuchera. Hooked by Glenn Anderson and wheeled in. And Wendell Clark flips the puck back towards Ed Belfour. Knocked down though. Here's Dave Christian to Troy Murray. Sharp angle shot stopped by Potvin. They score on the rebound.
This is the funny one. Potvin made the save from a bad angle, but that puck just laid there and looked at the scramble. It actually went off a Leaf defenseman's stick right here. Kimball was in.
And Darren Kimball will get the goal.
Potvin just lost his balance. He made the save, but now watch. He just falls backwards, does the spread eagle, and isn't able to recover.
Off balance right off the start. So Kimball from Troy Murray and Dave Christian gets Chicago in front 1-0. A goal from an unlikely source. Baumgartner got his hands up in the face of Neil Wilkinson. There's a chance in front for Manderville, and he couldn't tip the puck by Belfour. Belfour made a nice save off Foligno, whose shot from the right wing was a hard one. Maple Leafs are storming right back, and they dump the puck in. Now their fourth line is getting some chances to score. Darren Kimball has his first of the year. Joined the Hawks in a trade from Florida. Christian with a shot. Potvin with a save. McCowan missed a pass, but Baumgartner's back to pick it up. The Blackhawks were on a change. Baumgartner's long pass drifts the length of the ice. And there's an icing call against the Maple Leafs. Darren Kimball from Lucky Lake, Saskatchewan has given the Hawks a 1-0 lead.
Introducing the new 1994 Acura Integra Sports Coupe and Sports Sedan. Not since Hot Wheels have cars been this fun. Tracks sold separately.
You say you don't get something for nothing. Well, most of the time, I guess that's true. But Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children gives some of the best medical care in the world to kids with orthopedic problems, and they don't charge a dime. No catch. It's just something the Shriners have loved doing for 70 years. So if you know a child with bone or muscle problems who needs excellent medical care in friendly surroundings, call toll-free for information. Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children.
Blackhawks lead 1-0. They've outshot the Maple Leafs 9-1 in the second period and 21-7 overall. Maple Leafs won a draw in their own zone. Gilmore took it out with Andreychuk and Borshevsky. 1-0 Chicago. Early stages of the second period. Todd Gill to Borshevsky. Shoots, he scores! Tie game!
You talk about losing the momentum and then getting it right back. Great shot by Borshevsky, but it was really Todd Gill that got the momentum going for the Leafs. He led the rush all the way into the Hawks zone and then just fed a nice little pass right over to Borshevsky. But what a shot. Belfour was way out to cut down the angle. Just gave a little bit too much room over his right shoulder.
Number 3 for Borshevsky. 1 minute and 16 seconds after the goal by Kimball. And the game's tied 1-1. On just the second shot on goal for the Maple Leafs in the period. Here they are 2-on-1. Andreychuk shoots. Belfour the save, and Gilmore was right there. Luckily for the Blackhawks, the rebound went to the boards. Back comes Dirk Graham the other direction. Steered aside by Todd Gill so that Dave Ellett can get the puck. He's bumped. Andreychuk can't clear. There's Todd Gill to get the puck to the corner against Dirk Graham. Gilmore on the boards. Chelios kept the puck in, or tried to. It bounced straight up in the air. Chelios pushed to the boards. Todd Gill behind his own net. On the glass, trying to get it out. Cam Russell didn't give up any ground, kept the puck in. Out come the Leafs. Borshevsky on the left wing. Drops it off for Andreychuk. Nice moves, trying to get to the middle. There's a penalty coming up, and it'll be against the Blackhawks. And the Maple Leafs have just tied this game 1-1. We'll go to the power play as Brian Marchment goes to the penalty box for slashing.
2 minutes for
Now, at Burger King. McCain Zesty Super Crisp Fries. Crispy. Delicious. Zesty. Makes you want to shout. Taste, taste, tasty. Get a taste of Super Crisp Zesty McCain fries at Burger King. Burger King, your way, right away.
Nikolai Borshevsky has Toronto's goal from Todd Gill at 4:28.
Leafs will have a pretty good opportunity right now, though, as they go on the power play. Brian Marchment had taken a penalty.
As Nikolai refreshes himself, he had lots of time to do that in last season when they played here, because Pat Burns would take him off the #1 line and move Glenn Anderson or someone else in, and Nick's ice time would go way down in Chicago Stadium.
It gave Borshevsky an opportunity to really adjust to both Pat Burns, Toronto Maple Leafs, the league. Brian Marchment, we talked about earlier, is usually the guy that's trying to bait other teams into taking a penalty. He took a bad penalty for the Blackhawks, especially with a face-off deep in the Blackhawks zone.
He's off for slashing at 5:29. Maple Leaf power play, as you see, 0 for 2. Here's Bob Rouse getting the puck in deep. Gets back to Rouse at the point, to the front of the net. Hit a skate and went wide. Anderson from behind the net. As Wendell Clark parked in the slot. John Cullen in deep. The pass goes to Cullen. Cullen hounded on the boards by Smith. To Anderson. Bob Rouse from the point. His shot was blocked by Stefan Matteau, but Rouse had the presence of mind to get to the puck and keep the play onside. This time, Matteau knocked it by him. Aronov and Rouse. Anderson, Cullen, and Clark out of the power play. Mitch Sutter and Jeremy Roenick up front killing the penalty. Chelios and Kuchera back. Chelios sends the Maple Leaf power play back into its own zone again. Now a change for the Leafs as the #1 power play unit comes over the boards. Andreychuk in behind the defense already. A pass was cut off by Frank Kuchera before it got to him. Less than a minute to go, and the penalty here to Brian Marchment.
Leafs almost got caught, though. Their forwards were changing, but the Blackhawks were forcing deep. And it really meant a 2-on-2.
Gilmore hooked down at the blue line. No call. Chelios sends the power play back.
Leafs like to keep one man high, so it really allows a 4-on-3 to occur coming out of the Leaf zone.
Power play got inside the blue line. Now it can't get possession. Graham hustles after the puck, beats Gilmore to it. Derek Graham, great veteran penalty killer and the captain of the Hawks, rags the puck, kills some time. Chelios takes his time now and will try and get the puck deep, and he turns it over to the Maple Leafs. Down to the last 10 seconds of this power play in a 1-1 tie, 7.5 minutes into the second. Penalty's over. Marchment's on the ice, and he takes an offside pass, stopping play.
Gilmore was upset. He felt that when he got dumped by Smith, there should have been a penalty. Fans were reacting, though, to the linesman tripping up on the play. Gilmore seemed to pick up the puck in his own end zone, and you could almost look at his face and tell that he was determined that he was going to make something happen in the last few seconds of the power play. He might have if he hadn't tripped up.
Yeah. Duck's 30 years old now. We have to talk about the Maple Leafs and how old they're getting, but the Blackhawks are actually older. And between these two teams, there are 15 players on their rosters tonight that are 30 years of age and over.
That's a lot of afternoon naps, isn't it?
There you go.
You're the believer in anyone over 30 is allowed an afternoon nap.
But don't forget that the NHL's leading scorer, number 99, is 32. And his old team from Toronto went to the semifinal. Lots of experience between these two teams.
The old Blackhawk team at 106 points, third overall in the NHL last year, only to Pittsburgh Penguins and Boston Bruins. Not bad for a bunch of old guys. But the intensity of both of these hockey clubs and their concentration and their commitment to defense, as well as having two outstanding goaltenders,
that helps,
is really a big reason why they were both successful. And more successful in playoffs last year, of course, than the Hawks.
Jocelyn Lemieux rubbed out on the boards by Jamie McCowan, who's having a strong game on defense for Toronto. Mark Osborne took a bump from Marchment, put the puck the length of the ice. Cam Russell is the first man back, and there's an icing call against Toronto.
Talk about that commitment to defense, though, and so many coaches do feel that if you take care of your defense, the offense will come. Well, the offense really didn't come easily for both of these hockey clubs. One was 19th and one was 16th offensively last season, but you're 1 and 2 in the league defensively. You get an awful lot of respect. You're going to be in every hockey game.
The goal scorers are Nikolai Borshevsky and Darren Kimball. Kimball got his first 1 minute 16 seconds before Borshevsky. Here's Brian Marchment. Sharp angled shot was blocked. Osborne poked the puck away from the onrushing Cam Russell. Kevin Todd moved the puck in. Now keeps it in. Sprawling on the ice. Marchment pushed Berg to the boards as the puck came out to center. Here's Brian Noonan. Gains the blue line for the Blackhawks. His pass was behind Todd. Osborne takes over. Osborne to Krushelnyski, and he just dumps the puck in or tipped it in deep for Toronto. 8.5 minutes into the second period. It's a 1-1 tie at Chicago Stadium. Puck went through the crease. Belfour had to touch it and make a save on Krushelnyski. No icing. Back the other way come the Blackhawks. And now the play is offside. That was an unusual play. Cam Russell couldn't touch the puck, and Ed Belfour had to stop Krushelnyski.
Unusual it was. Ed Belfour was down, making sure that that puck didn't come in low, but then it bounced right off of his pads, and it was a dangerous opportunity that all of a sudden came about for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dangerous for Belfour.
What a record against Toronto. He has 4 shutouts against the Maple Leafs. And he has 1 loss against them this year. On October the 9th in Toronto, the Maple Leafs won 2-1 as part of this 9-game winning streak to start the season. Mironov was hit, and the fans like that. Here's Ken Baumgartner. His pass to Mironov, just tipped out to center. Neil Wilkinson. Steve Smith over to Darren Kimball. Couldn't handle the pass. Kimball and Baumgartner in close quarters. Always worth keeping an eye on. Ed Manderville threw a hit and knocked Neil Wilkinson down as Dmitry Mironov dumps the puck in. It bounced right to the slot. There's Wilkinson to take it and get it out of harm's way. Foligno poked the puck towards the net, and Belfour covers up with Foligno and Manderville right in front of him. There's 34-year-old Mike Foligno with tonight's game is now just 24 shy of 1,000 in his career.
Quick update from New York. 3-1 Montreal leading second period. 5 seconds into a New York power play. Leach gets it over to Sergei Zubov. His point shot beats Patrick Roy. And a little closer now at 3-2. Late in the third.
Here in the second, Gill with a shot off the draw. That hit John Cullen. It hurt him in front of the net. Deflected wide, too. Cullen shakes it off. Anderson goes after the puck. Centering pass. In front is Joe Murphy to take it away for Chicago. Caught by Anderson, but he passed the puck off to Steve Smith. He's poke-checked by Anderson. Last man back, Wilkinson, checked by Anderson, who's all over the ice, but now he's headed off it because Anderson's going to get a penalty. And the Leafs touch the puck. A holding call against Glenn Anderson. And Chicago goes to the power play when we come back on Molson's NHL Tonight.
To fully comprehend modern-day athletics, it's imperative to understand its history. Join host Bob Costas for an in-depth examination of the evolution of sport on Blood, Sweat, and Glory.
Whatever the rules, whatever the legends, whatever the physical challenge, the games are part of a long, continuing human saga, a long history of blood, sweat, and glory.
Don't miss Playing the Game, part of the Ultimate Game Plan, Thursday on Real TV, TSN.
Glenn Anderson has taken a holding penalty at 10:06 of the second period in this 1-1 tie. Chicago goes to the power play.
That's exactly what Handy Andy was doing right here. He knew he was guilty, didn't argue that one the least bit, but just prior to that, Anderson had one great shift. He was flying.
Some of the things Toronto has done during its 9-game winning streak at the start of the season. They've scored some goals. Most of all, they've held opponents without. They've won the close games, and they've stopped opponents' power plays.
Pat Burns says, yep, Jim, that's exactly right. If we do those things well in here again tonight, we can probably win this hockey game.
Steve Smith on this power play to Dirk Graham. Takes the shot. Potvin the save. The rebound goes to Stefan Matteau. Kevin Todd's out of this power play as well. Matteau checked by Krushelnyski. Sylvain Lefebvre goes over after the puck. Double teamed, and Dirk Graham gets it. Chelios is hovering back at the right point, looking to break in. Steve Smith passes off. Matteau takes the shot. Deflected wide. Potvin got a piece of it. That was a tough shot because it was knuckling through the air. Here's Matteau. Steve Smith in for Chelios on the right wing. Passes back to the point, but Steve Smith was over on Chelios' side. Minute 15 seconds to go in the Anderson penalty. Todd to Chelios. In behind the net, Dirk Graham is there. Stefan Matteau to Kevin Todd. The Leafs box it up as Todd goes outside the four-man box. Smith to Chelios. To the front of the net. Blocked. Todd threw a hit at McCowan, but couldn't knock him off the puck, and Jamie stayed with it and cleared it for Toronto. Penalty killers finally get a change as Chelios moves in for Chicago. Joe Murphy's on the ice as the power play unit has changed up as well. Noonan in front. Chelios has the puck. Doronik from behind the net passes off. Murphy's shot is blocked by McCowan. And Bill Berg cleared the puck.
Another shot that Potvin doesn't have to make a save on. Jamie McCowan does instead.
Under a half a minute to go in the penalty to Glenn Anderson in the Chicago power play. Here's Murphy with a shot. Potvin the save, and he squeezes it.
Don't try to go for the rebound as Murphy started to, because he had 2 Leafs on him very quickly. Jamie McCowan just makes a great play. The drop pass by Roenick, and McCowan just dropped to his knees to make the save on Joe Murphy's shot.
Not a bad play by JR either.
Jeremy Roenick knew that he had no place to go to. Potvin cut down his angle, so you might as well try a drop pass.
Roenick beat Gilmore on the draw. Late in this power play, Murphy to Kuchera. Screen shot was blocked. Rich Sutter's after the puck. Got it back to Frank Kuchera. On the other side to Neil Wilkinson. He turned and backhanded the puck in. Anderson's almost set to come out of the box. Penalties expired. Wilkinson keeps the puck in behind the net. Kuchera races for the goal. The centering pass went right by Kuchera from Murphy. And the Maple Leafs come out. Here's Gilmore. Knocks the puck out of the air. He's with Wendell Clark. 2-on-1. Gilmore to the goal. Stopped by Belfour. They score on the rebound. And the net stayed on. And the Maple Leafs took the lead. The net barely stayed on. It came up in the air, and the puck went in with the net still on its pegs, and the Maple Leafs have the lead.
There was a delayed penalty here on Chicago. You could see that Gilmore was in all alone on Belfour. Clark just came in afterwards, picked up the loose puck. Belfour was already down, and Wilkinson was a guilty party here. He left right there to Puck and Gilmore all alone for Belfour. Now what Wilkinson's got to do then is he's got to make sure if there is any rebound, he gets it out of there. Instead, he just let Wendell Clark come breezing in and tap it in behind Belfour.
There was Gilmore who caught his leg on the post and almost knocked it off and negated the goal, but it stayed on, and it's Clark from Gilmore, and it's 2-1 Toronto. Outshot 12-6 in the second period. They've outscored the Blackhawks 2-1. And here comes Wendell Clark again. Couldn't drag the puck with him and get by Brian Marchment. Jocelyn Lemieux, nice move to get away from Cullen. Lemieux in deep. Centering pass, tipped wide by Brent Sutter. Back comes Toronto. Cullen looks around, has Anderson flying in on the left wing. Anderson shoots, Belfour the save. This time he reels the rebound in and gives John Cullen a little shot. It's 2-1 for the Leafs here. We have an update from Pittsburgh.
3-3 as we pick it up at the Civic Arena. Valerie Kaminsky, a breakaway for Quebec going in on Barrasso. Nice backhand move and just slides it underneath as the Nords take a 4-3 lead midway through the third.
Wendell Clark, number 7 from Doug Gilmore at 12-22. The lead scoring play.
Just great hustle on Wendell Clark's part, though, and he's been leading the charge for the Maple Leafs in this game right from the very start tonight. He and Gilmore, 2 great leaders when it comes to the style of play that Pat Burns wants out of this team.
Wendell plays now as though he feels very confident of his health.
And if he continues to play like that, it's just going to make the Leafs even better than they were last season. They said at the start of the year all that they wanted to do in their goal was to get 100 points this year, 1 more point than they had last season.
Well, they lead here 2-1. They have 18 points on 9 straight wins. Battle behind the net for the puck, and a good one. Vanderbilt to Foligno trying to move out and can't do it. Ryan Noonan with his shot. That was deflected just wide of the net. Hacking at the puck is Ken Baumgartner. He got it the length of the ice. Foligno hustles after it, makes Belfour come out to play it, so there's no icing. Kevin Todd is back. Gets away from Vanderbilt. Tries to now and gets some help from Brian Marchment. Noonan was pushed into the boards from behind by Todd Gill, and Gill's going to get a penalty. A boarding penalty against Gill, who now has Russell in pursuit, and Brian Marchment coming over to have words. Gill has gone to the penalty box, and on his way, all the Blackhawks got his number.
Folks, you know how great I am on Coach's Corner. Lou says it's time to expand my horizon. It's time to be a video star. Let's go!
Quality presents Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em 5. Over 60 minutes of hard-hitting hockey action. From super goals to great saves. From the hardest hits to the best bloopers of the year. As a special treat, you'll get Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em music video debut.
Enough of that stuff. We're going to see who can dish it out and who can take it.
Rock'em Sock'em highlights the 1992 playoffs, including Montreal's 10 overtime wins on their march to the Stanley Cup. Over 60 minutes of the best Rock'em Sock'em ever. It's hockey's greatest stars doing what they do best.
My buddies Ty and Bobby dropped in for a visit. Of course, Coach's Corner. I love this guy.
There may be other hockey videos, but there's only one Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em 5 in stores now.
I'm often imitated, but I'm never duplicated.
Maple Leafs lead 2-1, and now they're shorthanded again. Todd Gill's off for boarding.
Gill's guilty, no doubt about it. The puck had already come out of the zone, and he checked from behind. That's a penalty that has to be called.
So now the Blackhawks get a power play for the 5th time as Gill sits out. Toronto's done a great job of penalty killing, and they'll have to keep it up to preserve the lead.
You'd like to go through the season with about 92% in killing penalties.
In a lot of hockey games, you can stop every power play. There's a Maple Leaf player down on the ice hurt. It's Sylvain Lefebvre. He's a scramble on the inboards, and he went down.
He's had a rough night. You can recall back in the first period, he got hit with a slap shot while he was sitting on the bench. Now he ends up getting a high stick. He goes back to look for the puck, and there you see when he got the stick.
Stick of Joe Murphy got him in the face.
Cowan was covering Murphy, but Murphy's stick just came right up and hit Lefebvre in the face.
Sylvain Lefebvre is getting up, and we're going off to Pittsburgh.
Quebec leading 4-3, Jim, midway through the third. Poor clearing by the Penguins, and Adam Foote has a slap shot go between Barrasso's pads, 2 in a row for the Nords, and Quebec has a 5-3 lead on the Penguins.
Visiting team is in the lead here, 2-1. Sylvain Lefebvre gets a break. 1:51 left in this power play for Chicago. Jeremy Roenick won the draw. Steve Smith to Chris Chelios. Joe Murphy. Centering pass was in the air. Noonan had to glove it down. And he's lucky to regain possession. Ryan Noonan in close quarters. Jeremy Roenick checked by Bob Rouse to the point. Here's Steve Smith to the middle. Murphy screens in front of the net. Noonan to Roenick. One time the puck out of the park.
Roenick was ready. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He knows that Potvin is quick, and if Potvin's over to his left and that puck comes across right to Jeremy Roenick, then he's got to release quickly. Otherwise, Potvin's going to take it away from you. He received that pass, and he was looking for that top corner, I'm sure. Jeremy Roenick worked hard, as you've heard. A lot of players that work hard, of course, in the summer to come to training camp. Very fit. Jeremy Roenick put on 15 pounds this summer, and Daryl Sutter said it really has helped his game. The way that he plays, he can use that extra weight, and of course with Roenick, you know it's in the form of muscle.
Although he gets a lot of goals and a lot of points, he's not as much a finesse player as he is, like Doug Gilmour, a very aggressive player. To throw his weight around. Now he's got a little extra to throw. Minute and 10 seconds to go, and a penalty to Todd Gill. Down to 5:15 to play in the second period. Maple Leafs 2, Hawks 1. Here's JR flying through center, and he flips the puck in. Chelios in after it against Bob Rouse. Noonan throws his weight into the corner. Murphy gets the loose puck behind the net. Now he'll try and come out the other side. Off the boards, Chelios. His pass for Roenick, tipped back to Steve Smith. Ryan Noonan now heads to the net, passes off to Roenick. Roenick to Noonan, side of the net. Stopped by Potvin. And Doug Gilmour cleared the puck with half a minute to go in the penalty. Bouncing puck at center is knocked down by Kevin Todd to Dirk Graham. Matteau's in front. The pass comes back to Todd. He lost control for a second, gets it back. Todd will give and go to Dirk Graham. The pass goes to the point. Brian Marchment to Dirk Graham. Big screen in front. The pass goes over to Kuchera off the board. Won't take the shot. Now he does and hit a man. Matteau in front of the net. Dirk Graham. 5 seconds to go in the penalty. Graham shoots. Blocked in front. The rebound knocked through the crease and out the other side. Gill's back on the ice. The Blackhawks are 0 for 5 with a man advantage. Here's Kevin Todd. His centering pass. Knocked down and moved out by Mark Osborne to Todd Gill, and the Maple Leaf penalty killers finally get a chance to change. Toronto's back at full strength. 3:45 left in the second. 2-1 Toronto. And the Blackhawks are offside.
Jocelyn Lemieux was offside. The Blackhawks are hoping for some more offense this season, and they hope that it might even come from Kevin Todd. Got a couple in the game against St. Louis.
We have an update from Madison Square.
And a big finish in New York. 10 seconds left to play. Rangers down by 1. Sergei Zubov, point shot. And it's redirected in front of Patrick Waugh by Adam Graves. That ties it at 3, and that means overtime at Madison Square.
There's Kevin Todd from Winnipeg. He was an MVP and a leading scorer in the American League and named to an all-rookie team when he made the NHL, but all of a sudden last year he couldn't play anymore. Just didn't fit into Herb Brooks' sort of system. But he can get some points for the Blackhawks. And there's a good reason why this team would go after him. If Tommy McPhee loves a guy like he likes Kevin Todd, then Darryl Sutter has to like the same kind of player.
He was the MVP in the American Hockey League a couple years ago. 118 points.
Yep, leading scorer and the MVP.
So the Blackhawks realize that at least at that level that he has been able to prove that he has got good offensive abilities, and there's nothing more than the Blackhawks could use in their lineup is somebody that's pretty intense and has the abilities to score and set up some plays.
Trying to sort out who's going to take the draw, how they'll align themselves as Cullen is waved out. Clark comes in. Maple Leafs got possession. Marchment kept the puck in for Jocelyn Lemieux. Shoots it. A rocket over top of the net. Bounced off the glass and out of play.
Lemieux doing a little headhunting there with that shot. He just blasted that one right in the direction of Felix Potvin's head. Actually a little higher than that even.
The Blackhawks have 26 shots in this game. The Maple Leafs have given up an average of 30 shots per game this season. #1 defensive team, but they don't keep the shot total way down. Clark couldn't get much on that clearing attempt. Kept in by Marchment. Loose puck at the side of the net. Potvin tried to glove it. Good. Jocelyn Lemieux moves out front, shoots, and Potvin stood up and made the save. Loose puck. Lemieux turns, shoots, blocked at the side of the goal. The puck is still loose. Now it's not. And now the bodies start to fly.
One thing in the Leafs' disciplined game plan in their own end zone. If there are any loose pucks around Felix Potvin, then if the defense can't clear it, and the opponents get anywhere as close, they're going to probably get beat up for doing it. The Blackhawks, on the other hand, haven't given Eddie Belfour that same type of consideration tonight. There's been a number of times when Belfour has made big saves. The Blackhawk defense have kind of been standing looking around. Here's a bad clearing pass by Wendell Clark. Went right back to Brian Marchment. Marchment flipped that puck up in the air. It was deflected.
And that led to this. Oh. It was Rich Sutter that got a face full of glove. He's used to it.
Face full of Rouse's glove. Pat Burns really missed Rouse when he was out on the suspension.
Hawks won the draw. Steve Smith now gets away from Andreychuk. Back to Dirk Graham. The play is stopped. There's an interference penalty coming up here. It'll be against the Blackhawks, and the Maple Leafs will get a power play.
Andreychuk was interfered with and went down.
And Dirk Graham's going off.
Right for the face-off.
Number 33, Dirk Graham, 2 minutes for interference.
Right there. You can see just to the left of your screen. Andreychuk tries to go after Smith, but he was hauled down from behind. He'd been interfered with by Graham on that play.
Well, now the Maple Leafs have had their net stormed. Felix Potvin's made some good saves. They've killed 5 power plays, and they have a great opportunity to leave the second period with a 3-1 lead if they can make this power play of theirs work.
Would have been a nice little pick play if it had worked for Graham, if he hadn't got caught, because it set Steve Smith up with a clear corridor.
Gill and Ellett, Andreychuk, Borshevsky, and Gilmore. Out on the power play for Toronto. Jeremy Roenick, shorthanded, blasted a shot wide of the net. Roenick and Matteau. Matteau leaves the ice. Smith and Chelios, the penalty killers. Borshevsky almost split the defense and got in alone. Run into the boards by Steve Smith. Ellett kept the puck in. Here's Gilmore. Todd Gill from the right point. Andreychuk's in front of the net as usual. Ellett gets the puck in deep. Chelios is there to hammer at the length of the ice. Late stages of the second period, 2-1 Toronto. And a minute to go in the penalty now. Borshevsky rubbed out of the boards by Rich Sutter. Dave Ellett lost the puck. Troy Murray couldn't make it settle down. The puck was rolling on him. Now Gilmore has a breakaway. Stopped by Belfour. Wendell Clark now. Out of a crowd, passes off to Todd Gill. Turns because Murray took away the shot. Over to Wendell Clark. Shoots it, scores! What a shot! 3-1 Toronto.
What a sequence of plays in that last minute. Back in the Leaf zone, then back into the Blackhawk zone. But what a shot by Clark. He teed that one up, and look how much time he had to get the shot away. He could actually take the pass, put it down, and then shoot it. Murray couldn't quite knock that puck down, so since they were killing, he went back, and then that sent it right to Gilmore. Belfour came out. What a save Belfour made with his stick. But then this was the shot that did the Blackhawks in.
Toronto scored a power play goal at 18:48. Wendell Clark has it, his second goal of the night, 8th of the season. Todd Gill set it up, and it's 3-1 Toronto. There's Felix Potvin with a save. Lemieux's backhand shot is blocked. As the Blackhawks look to get close before the end of the period, and there's only 40 seconds left in it. Krushelnyski sidestep to check. Tied to center and sidestep to check from Marchment. Loose puck to the front of the goal, knocked away by Belfour. Jocelyn Lemieux takes a look around, sees Osborne coming at him, made the play, knocked down by Krushelnyski. Shot back in by Bill Berg. Belfour out of the net, knocked down. Now he takes a swipe at Osborne, and Belfour has just jumped Mark Osborne. Marchment's there. Now everybody gets involved. net to play the puck. Looked very innocent. Seemed that he got a bit of a bump from Osborne, and then he went right after him. And he's still after him.
Well, the crowd here are chanting for Eddie. The linesman would like Eddie to do is settle down. He's on fire, and you can see who he's on fire against. Osborne is still within shouting range of Belfour.
Perhaps Brian Burke, who held a hearing here this afternoon, should have stayed for the game.
What's Eddie going to get out of this one? Should Hackett be warming up on the bench?
14 seconds left in the second period. Toronto's up by 2 goals. Former Islander, Sharp, Jeff Hackett. Belfour likes to come out of his net and play the puck. He did, and when he got to the corner, Mark Osborne was there as well. And it looked like Belfour was knocked off balance by Osborne. Then he got mad and attacked him.
There goes Eddie for the long skate all the way down. Right past Felix Potvin. Into the Hawks dressing room.
Third man, I bet.
I think everybody's going to leave, and Terry Gregson will just tack the remaining 14 seconds onto the third period. That's a wise move because the bookwork here will take a while.
That's exactly what Gregson is telling the teams right now. The Leafs, they're first. Go to the dressing rooms.
Here again, the incident that ends the second period. Innocent enough so far.
Ozzy got the stick up between Belfour's legs, and Belfour turned around, gave him a crack with the stick. Let's take a look at it again from this angle. Watch Osborne's stick. And watch Belfour's stick.
Now the Eagle gets up and goes right after him.
The last 14 seconds of the second.
I don't think Belfour had his gloves off either. He was trying to punch Osborne with them on. He's still got that blocker and catcher's mitt on.
A wild finish to the second period that saw the Maple Leafs go behind 1-0, but come back and score 3. They're 9-0, 20 minutes away from going 10-0 in our second intermission. A whirlwind tour of all tonight's NHL games. Highlights and scores with Bob McKenzie and John Wells next.
Now the second period scoring summary brought to you by Midas. For brake, exhaust, suspension, and steering services, trust your car to Midas. No scoring in the first, 4 goals in the second period. Darren Kimball got the Blackhawks into a 1-0 lead for Murray and Christian. 1:16 later, Nikolai Borshevsky tied the game from Todd Gill, Borshevsky's 3rd of the year. Then Wendell Clark with 2 in a row. His 7th from Doug Gilmour, making it 2-1. And his 8th from Todd Gill made it 3-1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Shots in the period, Chicago 17, Toronto 8 for a 2-period total favoring the Hawks at 29-14. The Leafs have the lead at 3-1, and there are 13 seconds actually remaining. Make it 14 seconds left to play. Second period. Let's join Jim and Gary.
Ed Belfour stays in the game, but got a double minor for the altercation with 14 seconds left in this second period. Slashing and roughing. Marchment deemed the 3rd man in the altercation, gets a roughing minor and a game misconduct, and Mark Osborne got a hooking penalty, and he got it all started. Here it is again.
Watch Osborne again. Nifty little move. Well, Osborne thought so initially, but that's what started the whole fracas. You know that Eddie Belfour is going to retaliate in a situation like that. I feel sorry here for Brian Marchment, because I think Marchment wanted to be more the peacekeeper than he did anything. Even though Ed Belfour isn't thrown out of the game, Daryl Sutter has yanked him anyway.
That's right. So Jeff Hackett takes over. Jeff Hackett moved over from San Jose with Neil Wilkinson for Jimmy Waite. And Hackett is now in goal in a game I'm sure he didn't think he'd see action in. Belfour has come out. The Maple Leafs start this period with a man advantage for 4 minutes. And a 3-1 lead, having scored on the power play late in the second. Well, it's still late in the second, and in just a few seconds now, they'll swap ends and we'll start the third.
Now in goal for scoring number 31, Jeff Hackett.
Hackett is expected to see more games this year than I think Jimmy Waite was getting last season for the Blackhawks. I think they would like to rest Eddie Belfour just a little bit more than they did in the past, and Hackett's the perfect guy as an experienced goaltender to come in and give Belfour that rest.
Hackett's a 25-year-old from London, Ontario. He's a graduate of the Craig Billington Goaltending School. 4 seconds to go in the second period. Todd Gill with a shot, deflected off the glass, and now the second period is over and the teams will swap ends, and we'll get on with the third with the Maple Leafs leading 3-1.
Interesting today, I was talking to Rich Sutter about the difference of having played for both his older brother Brian Sutter and then his other brother now, Daryl Sutter. He said, you know, that playing for Brian is very intense and he's emotional and he really wears it on his sleeve a lot. He likes to yell and scream and holler and get the guys going. And Daryl's a little quieter. He's just as intense, but doesn't quite show his emotions as much as Brian does. I think both of the players kind of played like that as well.
So the third period is underway. Doug Gilmour, his team leading 3-1 to Todd Gill, gets away from Smith. Centering pass, Ellett couldn't fire the shot. Backhander, and Hackett makes a great save. Hackett stopped Borshevsky and keeps the Blackhawks right in the game.
That was sure a neat little offensive play by the Leafs.
A pretty nifty save. Warm up, who needs a warm up? Chelios is back for the puck. There's an icing call against Toronto.
Well, Hackett had to get into this third period very quickly. Take a look at some of this offensive maneuvering by the Leafs. Once again, it was Gill that set it up back to Ellett, but Ellett really slid that puck pretty nicely right over to the open side.
So Hackett's right into the game now. Ian Felix, Potvin of the goaltenders. Terry Gregson is the referee. The Maple Leafs have a power play with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in it. Because of the double-minded duet, Belfour has now been pulled from the game. And the Blackhawks have lost defenseman Brian Marchment for the night. Todd Gill leads the power play to center. Breakaway pass to Andreychuk. Shoots it. Hackett made the save. Hacked out in front of the net. Ellett couldn't handle a bouncing puck and get a shot away. And here's Stefan Matteau to clear the puck. His pass for Roenick is knocked down. Andreychuk had a chance to break for the net and was looking to pass. And the Blackhawks send the Leafs power play back again.
Andreychuk can do some pretty nifty things with the puck, and a lot of it stems from just that big long reach of his.
Murphy got the puck from Gill. Sharp angled shot. Potvin stopped that. Here comes the power play again to center. The puck is dumped in. Anderson off the wing, and Hackett had to make a fine save on Glenn Anderson. Anderson's had some real jump tonight, hasn't he?
He's really skating well, and you know, a player like Anderson, even though he's played 14 years in the National Hockey League, he can play another 3 or 4, and maybe longer with expansion in the way he can skate.
Only a goal and an assist this season, but tonight he's probably getting more ice time than he has in most games. Brent Sutter centered the puck. It went through the crease. Dirk Graham Now the power play tries to get organized and hasn't been very through this power play. Minute and a half to go in it. Long blast by Cullen. Big rebound. Anderson overskated it. And the puck bounced up and off the glass. Mironov gives the puck off to John Cullen with Wendell Clark. Clark to Todd Gill. Had the puck taken away by Dirk Graham, who couldn't clear it. Andrechuk kept the puck in. Gill at the point. Working against Dirk Graham, the puck is pushed out through center.
Todd Gill has had some rough nights in the Chicago Stadium over the years, but he has really played well tonight and become a great defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Offensively, he really jumps up and adds to the rush.
Here's Wendell Clark, who has 2 goals in this game. Chelios takes his man out of the play. Andrechuk behind the net, got the puck out front. Ellen bats it towards the goal. Hackett makes a save on Wendell Clark and holds on. 45 seconds left in the Chicago penalty.
Clark, all he could do really was just take a swat at that on his backhand. He was facing the play. He first of all got rubbed out of the play pretty well by Chris Chelios. Turned around, got his number. But now Clark just puts on the brakes right here. Just took an innocent kind of little backhand swat at the puck. I'm sure he was probably a little tired out after that shift.
That's all he could do with the bouncing puck, and he had to know somebody would be on him soon. Brent Sutter got the draw, so the Blackhawks get to move up.
Interesting, after Clark got hit by Chelios, who was the first guy to turn around and hit Chelios? But Doug Gilmour backed right into him.
Half a minute to go on this Maple Leaf power play. Hackett leaves the puck at the side of the net for Cam Russell. Up the boards. Gill pinches in, takes a hit, but makes the play. Borshevsky to Gilmour. Nikolai Borshevsky. Outside the 4-man box to Gill. To Gilmour, side of the net. Kicked it up, couldn't get the puck on his stick. Now to 10 seconds to go in the Maple Leaf power play. It's Toronto 3, Hawks 1. And this is a crucial penalty kill for the Blackhawks, and they're 5 minutes away from completing it. 5 seconds, excuse me. Lemieux serving the penalties, back on the ice, but Gill's breaking down the right side with Osborne. Gill to the net. Hackett stops him. Toronto 3, Chicago 1. 4 minutes into the third of this Molson Canadian Hockey telecast.
Hey Roberto, which is the best pitcher you've ever faced?
The one with McCain Punch.
Catch the taste of McCain Frozen Punch. In orange, berry, and fruit punch. McCain Punch is made with real fruit juices to deliver real fruit taste, which makes McCain the punch of champions, like Roberto Alomar.
Catch the taste.
Catch the real fruit taste of McCain Punch.
Relive the moment. The excitement. Relive the dream. Olympic memories of Calgary '88. Rekindle the flame with Brian Orser and Friends. Friday on Real TV, TSN.
Toronto Maple Leafs are trying to extend their season-starting winning streak to 10 games tonight and snap a 13-game losing streak at Chicago Stadium. And they lead 3-1 in the third. Kevin Todd won the draw from Mike Krushelnyski. Frank Kuchera, one of 5 defensemen left for Darryl Sutter. Neil Wilkinson's long pass didn't get to Todd, but he got the puck back, heads for the net. Potvin stopped him, and the net is knocked off by Joe Murphy. Good effort by Kevin Todd, kept going for the net, and Potvin had to stop him.
And McCowan was quick to come back and to pick up the puck and get the Leafs out of trouble. Innocent little play right here. Lefebvre just lost the puck, but he did stay with his man, stayed right with Todd, and Lefebvre's partner Jamie McCowan came right back to recover for him. Watch Potvin, he just focuses so well on that puck, but Potvin is always quick to go down.
Like Todd Gill, Sylvain Lefebvre has really blossomed under the coaching of Pat Burns, hasn't he?
And it fits his style of play. He can play within his limitations when he can play defensively, as Burns wants him to anyway.
Here's Jocelyn Lemieux. Onto the right wing, a bouncing puck. Murphy couldn't handle it. Lemieux throws his weight at Mark Osborne. Osborne stays on the puck, trying to get it up the boards. Can't do it against Kevin Todd. Murphy with Lemieux in front. Puts the puck towards the net. It bounced to the end boards. Battle on the boards. Pinching in is Wilkinson against Krushelnyski. Keeps the puck in for Chicago. Kevin Todd out from behind the net. To the slot, passes off to Steve Smith. Big crowd in front, and Smith just keeps the puck in on the end boards. 5 minutes into the third period, 3-1 Toronto on the road. Lemieux to Murphy from behind the net. Turned back. Lefebvre up the boards. Wilkinson pinches in again, and finally Krushelnyski took the puck away from him and got it to center. Maple Leafs change on the fly.
For as long as the Blackhawks had the puck inside the Leafs zone, they really didn't get a lot of opportunities, though. The Leafs just don't panic. They hold their positions very well. They'll let the Hawks play on the perimeters with the puck.
A pass almost picked off by Kent Manderville. Jeff Hackett's out of his goal with Foligno on rushing. Stefan Matteau lines up and juggled. Matteau's playing with Noonan and Roenick now. Daryl Sutter tries to get his team right back in the game. They trail 3-1. Here's a giveaway. Manderville's moving it alone. He scores! It's 4-1 Toronto.
Ooh, that one hurts the Hawks. It hurts them big. But you can see how it affects the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Manderville especially. He just stole that puck right here in a bad giveaway. Coach just gave that puck up. Manderville walked right in and picked the corner perfectly. The line juggling may not have paid, or it didn't pay off for the Blackhawks.
Manderville gets his second of the year at 5:55, and Toronto has a commanding 4-1 lead. And still they storm after the Blackhawks. Mironov threw a hit at center ice. Dave Andreychuk collects the puck. Doug Gilmour. Turned it over. Here's Bob Rouse in his own zone. Andreychuk to Gilmour. A breakaway pass was cut off. Here's Dirk Graham outside on Rouse. Cuts for the net. Rouse made a great recovery and swept the puck away from Dirk Graham. Kuchera with a shot. That's blocked by Gilmour. Wrestling Gilmour to the ice is Rich Sutter. Chris Chelios takes over. To Brent Sutter. In on Rouse. Shoots the puck. Potvin the save. The rebound cleared off the boards by Rouse. And he played it nicely. Banked the shot out to center.
Andreychuk with that big reach just used it in order to get the puck out of his own zone and out of trouble.
And the puck is up and out of play. The Maple Leafs on the road trying to make it 10 in a row of a 4-1 lead in the NHL tonight.
It's bigger, more powerful. The all-new 94 Mazda truck has more horsepower, torque, and towing capacity than any other import truck. Call and find out where you can test drive the most powerful Mazda truck ever. With each test drive, your local Mazda dealer will give you a free NFL hat. You can also win an all-expenses-paid trip to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Call for more information on the all-new 94 Mazda truck, NFL hat coupons, and contest entry forms. Mazda, it just feels right.
Stay tuned following tonight's game as we look back on the TSN Turning Point. Brought to you by Sony. Sony Trinitron. It'll change the way you feel about everything you see. Experience the thrill of the game with Sony Trinitron's one-gun picture tube. A picture so real you'll catch all the action. It's worth its weight in gold. The story is Toronto is getting close to its 10th straight win to start the season. Wendell Clark with a couple of goals. Fourth liner, Ken Manderville's chipped in one. Chicago 0 on the power play. And Potvin has outplayed Ed Belfour, who's now out of the game.
And early in the game as well, with those 9 saves in the first 4.5 minutes, that's really a key part of being successful in this building.
The shots are 32-23 favoring the Blackhawks. Potvin says this is his favorite rink. He plays like it is here.
Well, any goaltender knows you're going to get a lot of action in here, so
maybe that's it.
They're going to say your name a lot.
Troy Murray in on the puck to Christian, and he's stopped by Potvin.
I thought Christian had the corner. So did a lot of people in this building. Bad giveaway, bad clearing pass by Gill. And then he didn't hustle back in order to take his man either. Watch it from this angle. Watch the quick glove right here of Potvin. Just scoops it right out of the air. Took it away from Christian. Yes, the cat.
Mark Osborne in his own zone is pinned to the boards by Kevin Todd. That is Kuchera to Kevin Todd. Noonan's with him. Chelios from the point. His shot is blocked. Bouncing puck in front, backhanded to the back of the net. Here's Mike Krushelnyski for Toronto. Up the boards by Kuchera, who knocked down Berg. And Chelios backs into his own zone. Todd to Matteau. Ryan Noonan. Return pass from Matteau was cut off by Jamie McCowan and sent out to center ice. 11.5 minutes remain in the third period. It's Toronto 4, Chicago 1 on the NHL tonight from Chicago Stadium. Bill Berg shot wide of the net. Here's Joe Murphy. Nothing to it. Can't get by Mironov. Baumgartner run into the inboards. Richie Sutter with a wraparound. He couldn't get the puck in the net. Joe Murphy shoots it. Potvin the save. The rebound. He stops that too.
Well, a little more action for Felix Potvin. But boy, the fans in this building, well, are pretty quiet. Remember the roar? Yeah, I think that was back in the first period, maybe the second period, but there's no roar in this building right now. It's pretty quiet. Almost sounds like Calgary, Jim.
Not that quiet.
One thing the Canadian fans have got to do, especially in Calgary. Calgary has, as we were Monday night, is now, I think, the quietest building in the National Hockey League. The fans come out in droves to support them, but they don't make a lot of noise, and that could sure help their hockey club out if they made a little noise in the Calgary Saddledome.
Here's some of the noise made by streaking teams in the history of the NHL. Pittsburgh owns the longest winning streak. Edmonton's long unbeaten streak at the start of the season is 15. The longest unbeaten streak ever, 35 by Pat Quinn's Philadelphia Flyers in 79-80. Maple Leafs could break a 68-year-old club record tonight with their 10th straight victory at any time of the year. An icing call against the Blackhawks nearing the midway mark of period number 3.
Well, Pat Burns won't get too carried away with it, even if they do win again tonight. But he's got to be wondering as well as tell me, is this so?
From here, the Maple Leafs continue on this road trip and play in Montreal on Saturday night. And then on Monday, they go to Dallas. And Montreal is where Pat Burns used to coach. He was talking about coaching there in a recent interview with Rich Cherry of the New York Star Ledger, and talked about the pressure of coaching in Montreal. Hands out plaudits to the organization. Says you get a degree when you come out of there, but sooner or later, coaching in Montreal takes its toll.
And he's really right on the money, because coaching in Montreal really puts you under tremendous pressures. Expectations are so high. The media is greater than in any other city in the National Hockey League, so you get a real exposure to what it's like to be a coach and face the media. Everything else might be pretty easy after coaching in Montreal. Except maybe in New York.
Coaches from Montreal who earned that degree that Pat Burns pointed out have been very successful elsewhere. Bob Berry's team in St. Louis is having a great start. So is Jacques Lemaire's in New Jersey. And of course, Pat Burns, the best start of all in Toronto.
Pat Burns has had some pretty good defense play for him and has made some pretty good defense out of some players. Larry Robinson is assistant coach now in New Jersey and played for Pat Burns. So did Chris Chelios out on the ice tonight.
Chris Chelios in behind his own netminder, Jeff Hackett. Aaron Kimball overskated the puck at center.
Actually, that first year that Pat Burns came to Montreal and coached Chris Chelios was the other year that Chris Chelios won the Norris Trophy. Funny, Burns said to a couple of his players last year as they were walking into this building, coming off of the bus, and Chris Chelios had just arrived in his car, was walking into the building. Burns said to a couple of his players, he said, "Why don't we just get over with and mug him right now?" He said it in a joking manner, though, because he thinks a great deal of Chris Chelios.
Who would have believed at this point his Leaf coaching record would be that far above 500? We've reached the midway mark of the third period. The Leafs lead the Hawks 4-1. There's another icing call as the pace is slowed down here, and that favors the Maple Leafs as they try and work the clock.
Burns doesn't have any extra defensemen with him right now on this trip. The 6 you see is the 6 they've got. He said it's a pretty tight budget. It's probably because, well, the Toronto Maple Leafs had to give Pat Burns another $100,000 this year to add to his contract. Think that could be the reason?
Hey, Pat, you want $100,000 or a 7th defenseman?
He took the $100,000.
A wraparound by Jocelyn Lemieux in front. They still can't put it by Felix Potvin. Red Sutter got a backhander away. Todd Gill was knocked down by the forechecking of Jocelyn Lemieux. Now he's tied up by Borchevsky, who was just tossed away. In front, Lemieux stops, scores! Shift for Jocelyn Lemieux.
Got them right back into this hockey game. Great effort by that whole line. Jocelyn Lemieux found himself all alone in front of Felix Potvin. Actually had time to stop, turn around, did the little pivot, and then found the room right by Potvin, who was falling on the play. Watch, Potvin goes down. Now he goes further. He's out of position. And Lemieux just made it look easy.
So the Hawks get some life. There's an icing call against Chicago. Jocelyn Lemieux knocked down Todd Gill, then tossed aside Nikolai Borchevsky, then went to the front of the net, took the pass from Sutter and scored the goal that's given his team life.
Brent Sutter had a chance before Lemieux scored the goal. The Hawks are alive.
This Molson Canadian Hockey telecast continues from Chicago after this.
Spicy, crispy, curly, thrilling. McCain Super Spirals. We love what you've done to our fries. You've spiced them up, curled them up, and turned them all around.
McCain has taken its famous super fries, dipped them in light-tasting batter, and surrounded them with bite after bite of spicy, crispy satisfaction.
You've spiced them up, curled them up, and turned them all around. McCain Super Spirals. Whoa! We love what you've done to our fries.
Quick update from San Jose. First ever meeting for the Sharks and the Ducks. Sandis Oselnish walks in, fakes the shot, and then beats Guy Hebert. Sharks into a 1-0 lead on the Mighty Ducks there in the opening period in San Jose. Jim?
Here it's the Leafs and the Blackhawks. Those two games represent yesterday and today in the NHL, don't they? Two of the original 6 here and 2 of the original 26 out there. Leafs and Hawks, Ducks and Sharks.
Someday they'll be saying that. when we have 50 teams in the National Hockey League.
Two of the great old franchises, the Ducks against the Sharks. The Blackhawks trail 4-2. See if they're inspired by Jocelyn Lemieux, and everyone else plays the same way as he did on his last shift. Here's John Cullen for the Maple Leafs with Glenn Anderson. Anderson put on the brakes to stay on side. The pass was intercepted by Wilkinson. Wilkinson's pass taken by Sylvain Lefebvre in his own zone. He's hounded by Brian Noonan, moves the puck up the boards to Cullen. Knocked down by Lemieux at center. Lemieux got a high stick. The Leafs are 2-on-1, and Clark is stopped by Hackett. And as Hackett holds on, Jocelyn Lemieux skates towards the referee to let him know that he got a stick in the face.
Lemieux seems to be all right.
Oh, he got a skate, not a stick.
He is lucky that he isn't cut. Oh, that could have been so dangerous. You hate to think about what could have happened. Meanwhile, this was Clark's opportunity. He made the right decision. Some might think that he should have passed over to Anderson, but when you're in a position like that, go for it. Especially the night Clark has had.
He's scored twice. Maple Leafs in forechecking as Dirk Graham takes over for Chicago with Brent Sutter and Jocelyn Lemieux. Lemieux is everywhere in his last couple of shifts. Here's Chelios, the puck carrier, to the front of the net. Potvin steered the puck aside. Dirk Graham in behind the net. Ellett intercepted the pass. And the puck squirts loose to Bob Rouse. Under 8 minutes to go in the third. Hackett has to come out and play the puck with Mark Osborne rushing on him. Chelios double teamed, almost lost the puck but got it out. Todd Gill fires it back in for Toronto. Kent Manderville scored the fourth Toronto goal, is in forechecking and pins Kuchera to the boards. Lemieux checked by Baumgartner. And the Bomber poked the puck loose only to have it tied up again. Now it squirts loose. Chelios takes over. Jeremy Roenick. Joe Murphy stopped by Potvin. Roenick heads to the net. The net is off. The puck is up and out of play. And there's a penalty being called by Terry Gregson.
I think it's going to Baumgartner.
Look out. The Blackhawks are closed to within 2 and go to the power play as Baumgartner heads to the penalty box. With 7:16 to go, this is far from over on the NHL tonight.
Hi, I'm Frank Buckley for Buckley's Mixture. When I began doing these commercials a few years ago, there was one reaction I didn't expect. People who think I was invented by an ad agency. Well, I'd like to set the record straight. I really am Frank Buckley, and my father really did develop Buckley's Mixture back in 1919. I'm not an actor. Heck, if we wanted an actor to play Frank Buckley, we could have found somebody a whole lot better than me to do it. I'd be grateful if you tried Buckley's Mixture for your cough. It really does taste awful, and it really does work. Thanks.
Quick update from St. Louis, 1-0. The Blues have the lead over the Whalers. Great effort here by Kevin Miller. Watch as he almost falls and actually goes down, but gets it up over Frank Pietrangelo. 2 points for Miller, 2-0 for the Blues, and only a minute to play in St. Louis.
A little more time than that to go here. 12:44 of the third, the time of Baumgartner's interference penalty.
The Bombers' 8th year in the league. He spent over 1,400 minutes in this place, the penalty box. And here's why he's there. That was a neat little pass right to Murphy, but watch.
Barely noticed Jeremy Roenick in the third period. He's out on the ice now in the Chicago power play. Murphy shot, stopped by Potvin, and he holds on with Roenick and Noonan right there at the crease. This is the 6th Chicago power play of the night, and the Maple Leafs haven't given up a power play goal, thanks in a large way to Felix Potvin.
Chelios hasn't really been able to get that shot of his away very often in tonight's game. He didn't have a shot on net in the first period and was limited in the second. You can see that puck deflecting, but Potvin nevertheless still able to make the save. You can feel the Hawks coming on.
Chelios and the Hawks have now outshot the Leafs 41-24, but trail by 2. Krushelnyski won a big draw to Jamie McCowan. Down on the board, Smith is tied up by Osborne. Murphy gets the puck. Roenick to Joe Murphy. Steve Smith, Noonan screening in front of the net. Here's Murphy with the puck. Roenick down low, stopped by Potvin. Loose puck in front of the net. Cleared away by McCowan. Another great save by Felix Potvin.
Hawks are really trying to work it low. It might be better to shoot from a little further out and try to get in front of Potvin now and shoot high.
That's what the Leafs did in clearing the puck and getting it out of their zone and off the playing surface with 1:16 to go in the Toronto penalty.
Going to be pretty tough to beat Potvin down low in close because, first of all, the way that the Leafs pull back, play the box pretty well, that if they're going to get a chance, it's not going to be from a great scoring angle, as Jeremy Roenick found out.
One of the keys on that play, Gary, is that there was no second chance.
Something the Leafs are good at. Taking those loose pucks away from Potvin.
Jeremy Roenick doesn't have a point in the game tonight. Chris Chelios is getting a new stick as this power play for the Blackhawks continues. They can score on the power play. They'll be within 1 with 5 minutes to go. Chelios. Bird quickly in forechecking. Now Gilmore comes in to help out. He's pitchforked to the ice by Joe Murphy. And now there's a penalty being called. Derek Gregson has stopped play. Gilmore went in aggressively on the penalty kill, got tangled up with Murphy, and I think Murphy's getting the only penalty.
Murphy tried to delay Gilmore from getting back into the action. He's going to pick up a penalty for holding, just exactly what Daryl Sutter is doing to his game notes.
With 58 seconds left in the Baumgartner penalty, Murphy took a penalty on the power play in behind his own net.
Well, when you're upset at one of your players, it's best not to burn any bridges and say the wrong thing. So put your game notes right in your mouth and hold it there. Not quite sure why Daryl put his notes in there and was holding them, but
bite down on something so you don't grind your teeth. Murphy's off for holding. Team by the side. 6 minutes to go in the third period. Toronto 4, Chicago 2. Stéphane Matteau goes outside on Sylvain Lefebvre. Lefebvre steers his man to the boards. Chelios shot picked out of the air by Potvin.
Chelios got that shot away smoothly. It came back in just a very smooth windup. Chelios just cranked that shot. Once again, Potvin was quick as a cat.
Not sure how many shots Chelios has had on goal tonight, but it seems like 100.
But he's had a lot that never really got to Potvin either. They're either deflected or at times the Leafs defense made quite a few blocks.
They have, so there are 43 shots that have got through to Potvin. Maybe 10 or a dozen blocked. And Potvin and the Leafs are up 4-2. In half a minute, the Maple Leafs will get a power play for about a minute. Kevin Todd working behind the net against Sylvain Lefebvre. Stéphane Matteau is there. So is Mike Krushelnyski. Hawks come up with the puck. Todd tripped up, stepped on a stick and went down. Jamie McCowan behind the net comes up with the puck and starts out for Toronto, leading a 3-on-2 rush. And now he'll just go for a skate in the late stages of the Baumgartner penalty. Baumgartner is back on the ice, and the Maple Leafs have a man advantage for just under a minute, with just over 5 minutes to go in the third period. Toronto's power play has connected once. Wendell Clark's second goal of the game. Here's Doug Gilmour leading the Maple Leafs to center with Andreychuk and Clark. Dumps the puck in, goes after it, or tried to, and was tripped up. Frank Kuchera down to the boards. Ella trying to keep the puck in. Brent Sutter sends the puck the length of the ice.
One thing about Gilmour, when he's on the rush, he doesn't try to fancy Dan it around. He just tries to drive right through any defense.
20 seconds left in this Maple Leaf power play. And you can be sure it's a very cautious power play late in the game with a 2-goal lead. Hawks send the Maple Leafs back into their own zone. Roenick threw his weight at Gill and bounced off in front of the net. A shot went wide from Rich Sutter. 4 minutes to go, third period. Hawks have the puck in deep. Smith on the inboards. Rich Sutter trying to get away from Todd Gill. Couldn't center it. Sutter's stick knocked Gilmour down, but he got up and flipped the puck the length of the ice. Chelios with Clark in hot pursuit. Chelios shakes Clark and heads up ice.
Great agility by Chelios.
Here's Joe Murphy off the wing. Shoots, deflected to the inboards by McCowan. Bouncing puck. Potvin got a hold of it, or does he? Loose puck. Comes out to the point. Chelios kept it in. Russell, great move around Krushelnyski. Cam Russell then lost the puck to Wendell Clark, and the Maple Leafs are 3-on-2 to center. Andreychuk with Krushelnyski, and Russell knocked Andreychuk off the puck before he could pass it. Back the other way come the Blackhawks. Noonan fakes the shot. Can't get by the defensive wall. Barging in is Jocelyn Lemieux looking for the puck. Kevin Todd is there as well on the board. Neil Wilkinson pinching in was hacking at Dave Andreychuk. Wilkinson from the point. Shoots it. Blocked by Andreychuk. Less than 3 minutes to go in the third. Maple Leafs 4. Blackhawks 2. And the puck is out of play.
Remember the post-game show.
Well, take a deep breath. Just under 3 minutes left to go. Can the Leafs hang on here? The Hawks have just continued to come on stronger and stronger. Actually, one of the best opportunities the Hawks had in the last few minutes especially was really off of a Leaf defenseman's stick.
The shots on goal. But 4-2 is the score for the Maple Leafs. Steve Smith in his own zone. Frank Kuchera, errant pass to center, picked off by Bill Berg. Smith to center. And the Blackhawks are turned back again. Kuchera backs up into his own zone. Stefan Matteau to Dirk Graham. Gains the blue line. He's with Brent Sutter. Matteau moves in. He shoots. That's blocked in front of the net. Kuchera goes for the puck. His shot is stopped by Potvin. Here's Dirk Graham behind the net. Sutter's out in front. The centering pass. Potvin knocked it away. Now cleared to center by Bill Berg. 2 minutes to go in the third period. The Leafs caught on a change. Cam Russell was caught up to the front of the net. Loose puck. Rich Sutter couldn't put it in.
Hawks are going to have to get Hackett out of there pretty quickly. They've got 2 to draw even against the Leafs, not 1. Hackett should be coming soon.
1:40 to go, third period. Hackett hasn't started out. Here's Roenick. Shoots it. Potvin stopped that. Ah, what a night. That's hockey.
Well, the Hawks can shake their head. 47 shots on net now. Hackett is heading for the bench because the faceoff will be deep in the Leafs zone. Can the Hawks put another one by Potvin tonight?
This is the 47th shot that the Hawks have had at Felix Potvin. That was his 45th save.
That was a 6-inch rebound, and he just pulled it right back in. Here was the opportunity beforehand, the shot, the pass almost that got away from Potvin, and he got more than he bargained for. Rich Sutter ended up on top of his head.
A minute and a half from a 10th consecutive win to start the season, and a minute and a half from snapping a 13-game losing streak at Chicago Stadium. Net empty. 6 Blackhawks inside the blue line, including Smith and Chelios, the big point men, as the puck gets out of play again with 1:27 left in the third period. Now Mike Foligno is taken off in favor of Dave Andreychuk as Pat Burns makes one change.
Pressure on Todd here to win this faceoff up against Gilmore. They're gone.
Now Roenick against Andreychuk. Andreychuk kicked the puck back, but Chicago gets it. Chelios with a shot. It bounced towards the net and was stopped by Potvin. Loose puck, side of the goal. How did that one stay out? There was a shot that bounced up high. There's Chelios taking a shot that deflects up and over the glass again with 1:11 to go in the third, and it's as though the Maple Leafs have boarded up the net.
Yeah, with some big letters too. Just spell them out. It's not the Coho, it's the Potvin.
Now a timeout is being called. The Blackhawks have called their 32nd timeout with 1:11 left in the third. They've outshot Toronto 48-24 now, including 19-8 in the third period. And some fans have bailed out on them, although others are hanging in, hoping that they can score 2 real quick.
Paul Baxter giving the directions right now to the players that Daryl Sutter wants out on the ice for this important face-off. This timeout by the Blackhawks gives the Leafs an excellent opportunity to rest their key players. Gilmore can use that rest, as does Andreychuk, but you've got big Jamie McCowan and Lefebvre out there on the blue line. Even Potvin was able to go over and get a breather and a drink at the same time.
If you're in an office pool circling dates when you thought the Leafs would lose, you might have picked this game. Maybe you'd pick Saturday in Montreal. Who knows what the Leafs will do? We'll see them next on Monday night when they play the Dallas Stars, starting with Hockey News Game Night and the game at 8:30 Eastern. Will the Maple Leafs still be unbeaten, untied?
Doesn't get any easier for the Hawks right now. They have to go to Pittsburgh Saturday, right back here Sunday against Eric Lindros and the Flyers.
But first, they work the last minute and 11 seconds of the third period here with the net empty. The draw was won by Gilmore. McCowan cleared the puck down the ice. That kills some valuable seconds for the Maple Leafs.
1 minute to play in the third period.
Into the last minute of the third period, the Blackhawks rush to center. A pass for Roenick was in the air. McCowan bats the puck back out to center. Jeremy Roenick deep into the Toronto zone. McCowan, who's had a strong night, clears the puck and he got it out to center.
McCowan's a real expert at clearing. He goes to the glass, gets it up high.
Half a minute to go.
Lefebvre does the same thing. There's no use going to the boards if you can bank it off the glass.
Doug Gilmore got to the puck, took a hit. Andreychuk hit the post. Empty net, and he hit the post. McCowan fires a slap shot, and he missed the net. And you'll hear about that one. They'll take some ribbing if they lose, or no matter what happens. Into the last 10 seconds. The Toronto Maple Leafs, after 10 games, are unbeaten, untied. Unbelievable.
Just a great performance by the Leafs. Again, from the goaltending out. Felix Potvin was the difference early in the hockey game. He stoned the Blackhawks. The Leafs defensively in their own end zone have got to be given a lot of credit once again. They've all pulled on the same rope. We talked about that. Positionally, they're so disciplined. That's what wins hockey games right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs, all playing as a team.
Now for Felix Potvin, it's off to his hometown of Montreal. For Pat Burns, it's back to the building in which he coached when he was with the Montreal Canadiens. And Saturday night, the Maple Leafs put their 10-0 record on the line against the Montreal Canadiens. Scoring in the third period, Kent Manderville made it 4-1 at 5:55. He stole the puck and got an unassisted goal. Jocelyn Lemieux, in a great effort, scored from Brent Sutter and Dirk Graham at 10:32 to give the Blackhawks some hope. But despite the number of shots they had no hope on this night against Felix Potvin. The final score at Chicago Stadium, where the Maple Leafs have snapped a 13-game losing streak. Toronto 4, Chicago 2.
Time now for the Molson Cup 3 stars from Chicago. Tonight's third star, Maple Leaf defenseman Jamie McCown. The second star, Leaf captain Wendell Clark with 2 goals this night at the stadium in Chicago. And the first star, Leaf goaltender Felix Potvin, 46 saves as Potvin records his 9th straight victory. The Leafs go 10-0, and it is really rather an amazing story. Completing the Maple Leaf sweep, we've got Doug Gilmour standing by. The final score in Chicago 4-2. And Doug Gilmour is about ready to join us. I thought he was quite ready. Hard to believe that a team can get off to this kind of a start. I mean, along the way, there were a couple of nights where it could have gone either way, but there was really little doubt tonight the Leafs outplayed the Hawks.
Well, really a big night for Felix Potvin. And again, if you look at the streak from beginning to, I won't say the end because the end is not necessarily near, Felix Potvin's been responsible for winning 2 or 3 of those games by himself, and tonight would certainly classify as one of those nights when Felix Potvin helped go in and steal a victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs after so many years of frustration in the Chicago Stadium.
As promised, Doug Gilmour is on the line from the Chicago Stadium. John Wells along with Bob McKenzie back at Hockey Control here. Doug, a quick thought about finally winning a game in Chicago, getting the jinx off your back.
Oh, tell me, it feels pretty good at this point in time. We've been working hard all throughout the season as a team, and we've had success. And you guys said it earlier, Felix came up big for us again.
Are you having a difficult time at all believing this 10-0 start for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I mean, it's a little bit like, well, make-believe world out there, isn't it?
Well, I don't even think we're thinking about that at this point in time. We're going out playing game by game, and I guess if you look back maybe later on in the middle of the season, say, God, we had a good start. But at this point in time, we're just going to chalk them up and throw them in the bank because you know how it can turn so easy.
Doug, you had a little meeting with Brian Burke today. How did that go?
Thanks for bringing that up, guys. I really don't know. Obviously, maybe it went a little better than expected. Brian came up today to Chicago. I didn't know if I was going to play before the game or not. Anytime that you have a hearing before a game, but as it worked out, it was okay.
Okay, now if you are suspended tomorrow, and Brian Burke has said he'll make an announcement tomorrow, will you appeal that so that you can play in the game in Montreal on Saturday?
Well, guys, I think that's a decision that I got to think about along with the management. We haven't